So are you moving to the Atlanta area and you want to live along the Beltline and you're curious, what is it like living along the Southside or the Westside Beltline Trail? Well, you're going to find out because I'm going to hop on my bike right here and take you for a ride down these trails. And you can see I'm starting out on a part that is not finished, but let's go take an adventure together. Let's go on this Beltline and I will tell you about the different neighborhoods and maybe a couple places to grab a bite to eat. So stay tuned for all of that. We're gonna get after it right now. Hey everyone, it's Molly, and if you are new or returning to my channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in the Atlanta area, well, you've come to the right place. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and if you want to be notified when I do post another video about the Atlanta area, hit that bell so you can be notified. I'm really here just to help show you different parts of the area of Atlanta so you can hopefully find an area that fits your lifestyle and your budget. So if you're looking to make a move to the Atlanta area and you want some further help with your home search, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email, or put any questions you have in that comments box below. I love hearing from you guys and I can't wait to help more of you make a place here home in the Atlanta area. So I am on the Beltline Trail today and you can see that I am on an unfinished portion of the Beltline. I've already done a vlog tour of the Eastside Beltline Trail, so if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure you go check it out. But I'm going to cover the South Side and the West Side, and right now I'm on the South Side right by Grant Park. I kind of skipped over Glenwood Park because I think they're starting to work on that part of the trail. So I'm right here by the beacon, which I'm going to show you in a second, and we're just going to go for a drive that way on my bike and get some good exercise. The sun is shining, it's a great day, so I'm excited to show you around and I hope you enjoy it too. So before I head down the trail any further, I'm just going to walk you down. There's a little exit ramp here right by some condo buildings. They're called the Pratt Stacks. They actually live kind of like a townhome because they're 2 levels. They're pretty cool. I don't know if they are still building. We'll find out when we go around this corner. It's a huge complex, but you can find these, I'd say it's starting in the 500s and they go up from there. But there's a cool little spot called the Beacon. If you haven't seen my Grant Park vlog tour, well, I point out that area, but I'm going to go show you a quick look at that because there's some cool little places to grab something to eat, get some coffee, get a beer. So we're going to go check that out and then we'll pop right back up onto the Beltline. So here I am at the Beacon, and yeah, there was not like a great place to take my bike down the stairs. Maybe there's another way and I just haven't figured it out, but here is the Beacon. I'm going to take you for a quick stroll around here. There's some shops. There's like a coffee shop. There is Patria Cocina, a Mexican place. You go inside this building, there's a few more eateries, and there is the Eventide Brewery down the block there. There's some a Japanese place to eat. There's also a pediatric dentistry. So, and yeah, confirmed they are still building the Pratt Stacks. It looks like now they're in the 600K range. They used to be in the 5s, but that ship has sailed. So there you go, there's the Beacon. I'll give you a quick spin around there before I hit the Beltline. Yeah, they need to figure out something else for people that with bikes that are trying to get on the Beltline from here. Carrying the bikes up these stairs, not fun. Well, I was going to ride and talk right now, but it's actually kind of hard on this gravel, so I'm going to stand here and talk and then I will ride. If you missed my vlog tour on my first Beltline tour, basically the quick story is with the Beltline, if you're not familiar with it. So there was a guy named Ryan Gravel who was a Georgia Tech grad student. In 1999, he wrote this thesis, and it was about repurposing old railroad tracks that made a 22-mile loop around the city and turning it into a path that people could use as a walking, jogging, biking trail, and basically reduce congestion with cars on the roads, a way to connect all these neighborhoods together. I think it connects like over 40 some neighborhoods in total. And, you know, fast forward a few years, he started working for an architecture firm, and then the idea came back up, and then fast forward, it started happening. And I actually said it wrong in my last video that the Eastside Beltline Trail was the first piece to open, and actually it wasn't. It was the west side. There was a 1 mile trail that opened there in 2008, but I think it really didn't take off until the Eastside Trail opened in 2012. The Eastside area was just a more popular area to live in versus the west side, but as the popularity grew with the Beltline, then people started looking for more affordable options to live, and people flocked to the west side. And so, you know, you used to be able to buy a fixer-upper in the west side for $50K, and now you're looking at, you know, $250. So there you go. But, you know, if you are looking for a place to live along the Beltline, definitely for sure you're going to find more cheaper options on the south side or the west side of the Beltline versus the east side. It has just been a lot more developed, and things are changing though. I think a lot of people are starting to look at these west side, south side areas of town. In fact, there are some home sales now in the 900K range, so we'll talk more about that as we go along. But let me keep riding my bike, and I'll try not to crash. As I'm pedaling along, I think I can handle it now. It's not quite as bumpy, or maybe it is. But if you're wondering, you know, there weren't a lot of people out there at the Beacon right now in Grant Park. Well, it is morning time, so a lot of things are still a little bit closed. So don't let that, you know, freak you out and think it's a dead area. It's definitely a hopping place to be, you know, especially on the weekends. And that Eventide Brewery area, they always have people playing music and bands, and it's a fun little place. So yeah, like, you know, living over in Grant Park along the Beltline, I mean, those Pratt stacks are like, that's prime property right there. You can, the Beltline is right behind you, and you can just pop on there, and you can go over to Glenwood Park, up into Reynoldstown, even Inman Park. I mean, you can pedal all the way up to Piedmont Park, no big deal. You get a good exercise. I would say walking would take a while, but if you're on a bike, it'd be a nice little bike ride. So, all right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm about to hit Peoplestown, Chosewood Park, so I'll show you that next. So not far from the Beacon over in Grant Park, you're gonna hit Peoplestown. So this is D.H. Stanton Park. Has a big field that you can, you know, let your dog run around. Probably you're not supposed to, but there's some baseball fields, playground equipment, there's a splash pad. So it's a nice little park for the Peoplestown neighborhood. Peoplestown is one of those transitional neighborhoods that people didn't want to live in, but now it's a great spot, I think, especially its location. It's right next to Summerhill, which that has changed. It's very walkable, has some restaurants there on Georgia Avenue. Oh, I'm walking up these stairs. That's one thing. These stairs, not conducive for bike riders. So I left my bike at the top of this hill just so I could get a couple of shots of this park for you. But yeah, Peoplestown is, I think, another great spot for, you know, getting in. You can get a home in anywhere in the 400 to 600K price point. And, you know, I mentioned it, I have a video about, you know, great places to invest, and I put Peoplestown on the list, so check that video out. And then on the opposite side you have Chosewood Park. Sorry, I'm like out of breath from climbing those steps. I promise you I do work out, but now I'm going to go just a little further down this way, and I'm going to show you a big apartment complex that's in the southern part of Peoplestown. So if you're apartment hunting and want to be on the Beltline, let me go show you that next. So yeah, I'm not very far down from the D.H. Stanton Park, and then you'll see this entrance over to this big giant apartment complex. It has a really nice pool. I'm sure it has a gym. I don't know exactly what all of their amenities are, but it not only has apartments, but it also has townhomes that you can rent as well. It's on the very southern side of the Peoplestown neighborhood. This complex is called Maverick, and I can't help but think about Top Gun and Tom Cruise. I mean, if you have the name Maverick, what else can you think of? Anyway, so, one thing, when you're entering off of the Beltline or onto the Beltline from one of these areas, right now, I will say it's not glamorous. You just get this gravel road, but the whole plan is to have this entire Beltline done by 2030. And it's taken some time to get things rolling. They poured their first slab of concrete in 2008, and now we're in 2022. But it takes time to get all that funding, but they've gotten all the funding, so now it's just like logistics and that kind of thing. So let's keep rocking and rolling this way. On one side we have Peoplestown, and on the other side we have Chosewood Park, and you can see that this is another apartment complex called, what's it called, the Verge? Yeah, so Verge Apartments. Chosewood Park was another neighborhood that nobody gave much attention to. You could find a property pretty cheap there, and now you can find some really cute updated bungalows in that neighborhood, probably in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. And there's a big development going to be happening in the Chosewood Park area called the Sawtell. It's like a big mixed-use development, kind of like the Krog Street Market in Inman Park. So that'll be exciting to watch. So yeah, lots of development going on in this southern area of Atlanta. I gotta tell you, I am filming this kind of in the middle of October, and if you are not from Atlanta and watching this, yeah, this weather is amazing. You're going to love the fall weather, love the spring weather. It's just this perfect temperature of 75, maybe up to 80 degrees. My hair doesn't get all huge and southern hair because the humidity is down. So yeah, I've got great smooth hair today. I'm loving it. All right, you guys, we are coming up on actual paved concrete now. I can't wait because it's going to be a lot easier to ride my bike on. So we're cruising right along, and right here on my right is Pittsburgh Yards. I will say when the news broke about them building this, it sounded a lot more exciting than it actually is right now. It's really just some commercial spaces for entrepreneurs to have an office, but they are set up. I mean, they've got all this extra land right here, and I heard a rumor that they are going to be breaking ground and putting in more of kind of retail food type places here. So I think that will really help. But yeah, on our right we've got the neighborhood of Pittsburgh, and on our left we have Capitol View Manor and Capitol View. And I would say both of these neighborhoods, the average sales price right now is around $375, $380. And that is one thing, these southern neighborhoods, especially when the crash hit in 2007, 2008, these neighborhoods got hit very, very hard. Okay, I'm pedaling up a hill, so I'm going to try to keep talking. But they got hit very, very hard, and values really plummeted here. And basically, there was just a lot of disinvestment in these neighborhoods. So we had a lot of neglected homes. And then as the Beltline started to get built around here, a lot of investors came in. They got some cheap properties and then they renovated. And I will say some investors did a wonderful job really restoring the historical charm of some of these bungalows, and others were just putting lipstick on a pig. So if you are home shopping in these neighborhoods, be careful and really look at the quality of the job that these flippers are doing. Some are in it just for the money. Some are actually really thoughtful and want to just do a good job for the people in the community that are investing in these areas that are growing. You know, the popularity on the Eastside Trail, you know, it's just a more thriving community, but it wasn't always like that. Like, I live in Virginia Highland and my neighbors have lived there for 30 years, and they lived in Virginia Highland when it was not a place you wanted to be. So kind of the same story on these Westside neighborhoods. They were not a place you wanted to be, but things are changing, and I think one day it's just going to be another neighborhood. So right behind me, you can see they are building a huge apartment complex here. This is kind of in the Capitol View area. Not for sure what it is called, but there it is. And we are approaching the southern area of Adair Park. Cute neighborhood. It's about average price point $515,000. I've got a vlog tour of Adair Park. You can find some very cute bungalows there, and you can walk over, hop on the Beltline. You can, they have the Met, as they call it, and there is like a coffee shop there. They've got some barbecue there, Rodney Scott's barbecue, very good. So cute neighborhood. We'll keep going. All right, I'm right off of Allen Avenue. Right behind me this way is going to be Adair Park. And one thing I was going to point out were these little Beltline marketplace containers. If you're wondering what that is, so this is like an initiative to help entrepreneurs, small business owners get like an affordable place to set up a shop. So there's some of these on the Eastside Trail as well. And you know, it's everything from like a cupcake stand to, you know, crafts and arts and stuff. So kind of just a unique way to get some people that can't afford, you know, those really expensive commercial rental spots and be on a prime location by the Beltline. So I'm going to keep heading this way, and we're going to run into the West End and the Lee and White district, where there's some places to eat and grab a beer. Lots of beers actually. So let's go there next. A lot of cool murals in that tunnel, right? And right up there is a MARTA station for the West End, I believe. And we are just, I don't know how many yards. I'm not good at that kind of judging distance, but we are coming up very, very soon to the Lee and White district. So if you like beer, there's plenty of breweries here. Let's go check it out. So this Lee and White district is definitely a popular spot to hop off on the Beltline, enjoy a beer. I mean, there's several breweries right here. You can just pick one and grab a bite to eat, which I think I'm going to do as well. So yeah, finished my quick little lunch there, took a little break, charged up my battery on my camera a little bit, and I am heading further into the West End area, and we are officially on the Westside Beltline. I think the trail is about a 3-mile stretch, and yeah, you got West End on one side and Oakland City on the other. The West End average price point is around $380,000, and Oakland City is actually $410,000. But a teardown in the West End is going to be roughly around the $250K price point. Man, I remember when you could buy property fixer-upper for like $50K. So that just shows you how much this area has changed. And yeah, there's some really cute, like I said, great bungalows. I'd say in the West End, you're going to be paying more like $650 or something like that to get a good one, but let's keep on going. A couple of other things worth mentioning is that they still have some commercial space for food retail right here just past kind of where I ate, and there is the Best Inn Brewery, so still more shops and stuff available right here on the Beltline. Okay, I'm coming up to Gordon White Park on my right-hand side right here, but you could cross the really busy road, which is Ralph Abernathy Road, I believe. It's really busy, so you want to make sure that you turn right here to stay on the Beltline and not have to cross the really heavy traffic. And on the other side, there is a Kroger, a little shopping center, but let's keep going this way. I'm coming up on a little spur here off of the Beltline onto Lucille Avenue. It's really not a spur, I guess, just more of an access point. I want to get on this for a second because I'm going to take you up into the Westview neighborhood. Now the average sales price for a home in here is like $465, but man, there's been some high price sales in this neighborhood, one up to $960. I mean, beautiful home, just historically renovated. It's beautiful. But what I wanted to show you was if you take this exit, you get on Lucille and take a right, you're going to get to a little district of some places to eat in Westview, including a very popular burger place. Let me show you. Stopping right here in kind of like little downtown of Westview, and right over there there's usually always a line, a very, very long line for Slutty Vegan, and it is like a plant-based hamburger place, and it is very, very popular. They actually opened a store over in the Sweet Auburn district, and actually I think the owner just opened one in Brooklyn, New York too, so kudos to her. But I had to show you this little stop. There's a look at the Westview downtown area, and I'm on Ralph David Abernathy Avenue, and I will say they have some great bike dedicated lanes, and you could ride this over to the Beltline, but I'm going to cut through onto Lucille and keep on heading north. I just passed under I-20 right here, and you'll see the trail just keeps on going. It goes into Mosley Park and then into Hunter Hills and Washington Park, where then the trail ends, and that's where they need to continue building and getting connected over to Bankhead and then over into the Westside Park. But this is a little Southwest connector trail, and it goes off even further west into the West-Southwest neighborhoods. But you guys, I had to stop here. I had some technical difficulties, so it took me a little longer to do this tour than I anticipated, and I gotta go pick up my kids. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the South Side and the West Side Beltline trails. And you know, whether you are moving tomorrow or next year and you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I love hearing from you guys. Now I gotta boogie my way over to my car and rush home to get my kids. So until next time, you guys, I'll see you around the neighborhood.